Just to sort of set the scene here, I'm going to be using Slowpoke Slowbro. This is only the second time that I've actually played as this character, but played Pokemon Unite plenty of times. We're going to see actually a match where allies sometimes don't do the right things. I'm obviously a little bit noobing it up here with Slowpoke. I mean, I'm not going to say completely N00 noob, just a little bit of that NEWB type noob, but still some awesome plays and just some things that are executed that I think are worth talking about. And so obviously we're trying to go for this farm up here. They are very much on it with that Lucario and Ralts right there. Ultimately, we're trying to water gun them off that. They're taking on the Jigglypuff. Nothing really happening just yet. Still early game, obviously. That's totally fine. We're just trying to get that farm, get as much as we can. We're sort of going to go with the Slowbro, I would say Disabler build more so. I don't really have it set up as a tank just because we didn't give it the held items for, you know, like Assault Vest or something like that. But we are absolutely going to be going for Surf. We're going to get Telekinesis. And obviously the Unite move of Slow Beam, of course. And so we do have our jungler here finally. That's, of course, Frogadier now. Gonna be a few times that I'm like, you know, he definitely communicates and everything, but sometimes I become a little bit enraged at our jungler. And, you know, we'll see. I think you guys can tell me maybe in the comments, is that justified or not? And so here, I'm gonna go ahead and pick off. We know that, of course, Ralts is a little bit weak, but I see that the Lucario obviously taking on my allies. I'm a lot more support-minded, I think, in general, unless it's going to cost me or the team something else. So I'm like trying to think of the team most of the time. We're going to go ahead and slack off a bit there on our beacon so we can actually gain health from the goal to get back into the action really quick, hopefully. And so we are going to try to take this top farm right here. Lucario obviously got his eyes on it, so I'm going to go ahead, take that before we try to engage. Wigglytuff, nice sleep right there. We are very close to taking on that Lucario. He does inch by out of danger, just barely, you guys. So gets a little bit nuts as we keep on going, man. We're already here on that level 5 kind of mid-game, at least entering into the mid-game, if not there already. So we now, of course, have our Telekinesis. We'll go ahead, take that, looking good. And so just skip ahead just like a few seconds, you know, as nothing's really happening. Everybody's kind of waiting for that next farm to get there, bees, etc. And so we are in a little bit of a skirmish, and this is where Lucario and Slowbro, it's sort of an interesting fight that can sometimes result in a stalemate, or in, unfortunately, my case being new to him, Lucario winning sometimes. But with Lucario, you know, charging up that power-up punch and me doing Surf, if you do those at the exact same time, it's just going to essentially nullify each other. You know, the Lucario is not going to make contact with me, but my Surf is not going to disable that Lucario. And so that is one good way, I guess, to go around our Slowbro builds that I'm trying to make right here. Again, maybe emphasis on trying. I hope everybody's not going to slaughter me in the comments section. I know that people can absolutely offer me advice. This is, though, where we should be taking on Dreadnought, and unfortunately things are just going south. You know, we do at least have our jungler, we have our Greninja right there, but they did bring in an Alolan Ninetales to, I would say, even the playing field and do a little bit more so than that. Notice everybody was sort of, I would generally in the moment think that they're abandoning me, but of course looking back on this match, I can sort of have hindsight to see, okay, that wasn't really the case. Like, I was sort of actually overextending a little bit there, because you could see that, you know, my allies both were definitely in a little bit of trouble themselves, I would say. And so we are going to defend, of course, down here. They did, the other team got the Rotom. Other team's going to be getting that, of course, Dreadnought that we were going after. So not looking good, man. This Zeraora does get our berry at the last second. I saw it just a little bit too late. And so I'm thinking in my head I should get that berry, and then look what happens. Unfortunately, taking it away from our Wigglytuff ally, who then is going to fall as well as me. They're going to definitely gain the upper hand. I mean, when you have Zeraora, you've got Lucario on you, you already have two monsters attacking you, and then, of course, Ralts picking you off from behind. I believe it was Kirlia at that point. And so anyway, definitely for me, anybody that's new here, anything like that, I am absolutely a Ralts Gardevoir. You know, I'm a Gardevoir player at heart. Love my Gardevoir, and so I do kind of know, like, okay, this is what to expect. And especially once that turns into Kirlia, once that gets the Psyshock, usually they're going to go Psyshock if they're smart. It's going to hurt, going to be doing that pop, pop, pop. And so things not looking great for our team right here, Team Purple right now. You can obviously turn things around, though, of course. Look at this. Their Kirlia got 40 points. It would be nice to pick that off, but of course, we are not synced up at all. You know, nobody's on comms or anything like that, of course. This is just strangers playing together and everything. That Wigglytuff probably doing the right move, which was the Unite, but of course, Lucario gonna obviously do the same with that Aura. And so Lucario, everybody just kind of at a stalemate, and that was the exact thing that I was talking about. That scenario right there was where I tried to surf to disable Lucario. He's going to power up punch. Unfortunately, nobody really gets any win out of that, so it's all dependent on your moves subsequently after the fact. And so it looks like Wigglytuff and I obviously looking for the future. It looks like Red Bull, that's the name of our Greninja jungler right there. He's been jumping lanes like crazy. This is where I get a little bit upset. You know, he's got the flag, gather here and everything. Look at that, immediately backing off of that fight and leaving Wigglytuff and I to obviously take on a Gardevoir, Lucario, and Alolan Ninetales. Sort of a mix where Lucario's just in our face, Gardevoir picking us off from behind, and Alolan Ninetales obviously slowing everybody down. Just a terrible combination for us to fight, and then Greninja obviously gonna run away from us. So I think that time I was justified in being pretty angry. You know, I was pretty upset. And so here I'm gonna have to eject out of this. You know, this is just absolutely nuts. So I do get on that beacon last second, dude. I was on our goal, gave him a slow beam, our Unite move, to at least disable that Lucario. That was more survival than anything. I was hoping, of course, that allies would be able to take advantage. They're gonna, of course, use their Gardevoir Unite move on us. We get stuck in the black hole. Everything is kind of a little bit intense right there in a skirmish. Nobody particularly coming out on top. We would have obviously liked to get some KOs on our squad. So again, we're just like, I'm looking at this match like, man, is this a surrender? Is this like a pretty much accept defeat here? But no, I mean, we've got almost 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock right there. I'm hurting a little bit, but we got to get into this tussle right now that's going on between squad and squad. And so Lucario's right there to try to stop all of us. We do have 4 of our members, so that's perfect for us to actually get the upper hand and finally get that desperately needed goal break that we needed for sure, man. And so anyway, we'll just skip ahead about 10 seconds or so, and the last little bit of this fight, of course, is going to rely on Zapdos for my squad. Just sort of look at the lay of the land, and if the other team was to get Zapdos, obviously, this could very well be over. And so I'm luckily going to get that telekinesis off on the Zeraora. We're going to stun them a little bit. I'm going to do whatever I can to just try to nullify the other team. We're going to, of course, Unite move. I slow beam that Zeraora, who also, of course, gets his Unite. Looks like our ally team right there. We're going to get that 20 points, and so I got to be a little bit careful. I don't want to necessarily die, but I don't want the 50s to die over me, and so I am kind of putting my body on the line. I am a defender. I can do it, and so here we got the Zeraora flipping around. It's got 50, so kind of a little bit foolish because he didn't really have a lot of HP left, and we absolutely take down that Zeraora. That's going to knock off tons of points on it, but here's where it's like, I don't know if I'm justified or not, so the comments should definitely let me know. You know, I'm trying to like score a major 50 right here, which is obviously going to be double the points, and we don't have our Zapdos active anymore, and look at that. That Greninja the whole time wasn't even there to help like kind of divert any attention, just completely, I would say, I mean, he was getting the B, so it's like, yeah, he's getting more points, getting the Combi, getting the Vespiquen, but it's like, was that really the best move? I don't know. You know, you guys can tell me, of course, give me feedback there, but it's like, I can't help but be a little bit pissed that my 50 didn't score, and so here we're going to go ahead and disable the Lucario. Perfect. Thank you, Greninja, for sticking that one out with me at least. He's got 49 points. I thought he was going to score up there, but then we see Zeraora is coming, so it's like, what's our best move here? You know, we've only got 26 seconds on the clock. We can actually score these if we play this right, and so good job. Greninja going to double team that. I'm going to also, of course, go straight to that goal. We're going to try to land these points, and we absolutely do, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that Zeraora tries to, of course, stop us, but just a little bit too late, and so not today, my friends. And foolishly, I'm thinking, you know, like, hey, maybe I can score again with these 8. Why didn't I just do it at that goal that was back there? I don't know. So that's okay. You know, I make as many mistakes as my allies might have made, but look at that. A 603 to 252 victory in the expert class right here. Very nice, man. This is, again, just me trying to train up a new character, you know, just so I can have more in my arsenal. I've never really played a defender or liked any of them. You can see Zapdos did help us out with a major exponential gain on points, but it was really over before that too. You know, we were in the lead before that. It's just the main thing was stopping our opponents from getting Zapdos. If you like this, why not subscribe and click an end screen if you got those on? And thank you so much for viewing.